Practice Partner version 11, video number 2. PPhelper is a program that can help accelerate the provider and nurse's workflow. To access PPhelper, click on the double arrow and right-click on the green H. There are some additional settings that you can customize under Configure Functions. The three main items are entering the alternate nurse, and this refers to orders. So if a provider is working with a different nurse than the default nurse for orders, they can type in that nurse's username there. You can also put in your standard message recipient. So every time you make a new message, this username will populate into the to field of the new message. Lastly, if you enter your electronic PIN number, it will pre-populate every time you select to sign a document. For example, when I click sign, my signature will pre-populate. I can still choose either OK or cancel if I don't want to sign that document. When I make a new message, that username will pop in as well. And if I make a new order, that processor will change to the user in PPhelper. There are some changes with the lab review table as well. First off, you will be able to see when the patient's next appointment is, and it will also show which provider the appointment is with. The comments are in a little bit different format, but overall the lab results are organized in the same way. Right from this screen, you can link to the patient's Lab Miscellaneous tab or the Lab Micro tab without needing to go back to the main chart. There is also a new status in health maintenance for presumed immune. That letter is T. So if somebody is presumed immune to something where they would normally get a vaccine, you can document that as a T. Furthermore, the vitals can be graphed with one click by clicking on the Graph button in the Vitals section. If it's a pediatric patient, it will show you the percentiles for height, weight, and BMI. And if you want to highlight the individual item, you can select the data point from the right and it will highlight in red. One of the meaningful use requirements is that 20% of each provider's patients have a discrete family history. When you touch the Family History tab, you will first come to the family history as a grid. If you want to see their prior family history, you can view that under the History note. If you want to add information for a family member, first you highlight the item and select New. Choose the family member. You can add additional fields if necessary. And you can document whether they have no significant medical history or if they have a problem. You can type in the problem and select Lookup. It's a similar search to the ICD-10 search, but it does not codify to ICD-9 or 10, just the generic SNOMED code. This makes it a little bit easier to choose the diagnoses in the family history. If I want to add additional problems, I could select Save and Add New, or I could add any other fields here as well. For now, I'll just select OK. If I want to add pertinent negatives, I can select that and add the pertinent negative items that I've asked about. There will be buttons in the progress notes to bring in both the family history note and the family history as a grid. A new feature in version 11 is the ability to edit the past medical, family, or social history right from the progress note. The existing buttons of Insert Past Medical History, Family History, and Social History will be changed to reflect this function. So in the progress note, when you click on Insert Past Medical History, you'll see that the format changes slightly. It'll say Category and Title. Then anything that you edit or update from here will automatically push back to the Past Medical History Chart tab when the note is saved. The first click on Insert Family History will pull in any tabular family history information. If this is blank, you could go to the Chart tab and edit the tabular family history. Or if you want to pull in the family history note, you can click again to pull in the family history note. Again, any edits will push back to the family history note section. Lastly, the Insert PMH/FH/SH button will work similarly to the three buttons individually. If you want to edit the past medical history, for example, on a patient that is not having a progress note today, you can still click in the Past Medical History Chart tab, although we have disabled the edit function from here. If you actually want to edit this information directly from the Chart tab, the process will be to make a new note and then Insert History Past Medical, since we're in the Past Medical History tab, and Default Note to pull in their prior past medical history. Then you could update any past medical history items here. When you save, this will make a new note titled Past Medical History. The prior past medical history notes, or the previous versions, will be visible by clicking the older button in the Past Medical History Chart tab. Furthermore, when you edit the past medical history directly in the progress note, that will create a new past medical history note with the same date and time as your progress note. So each patient will likely have multiple copies of past medical history, but the most recent copy is what will be pulled into the progress note and is what will be pulled into a new note when you insert the default past medical history note. For users that are printing the clinical summaries, this can be printed right from the patient's chart by using the Print Clinical Summary button.